it gets you. Lots of shoveling. Anyway, I wanted to move forward on the maintenance series a little bit more. I've got some pictures that I'm going to be interloping into my speech here and interrupting the movie with. To kind of take 2 steps back, I want to mention that if you own a Can-Am, there are some absolute quintessential necessities that you need. While it's not a necessity, I recommend a good 90 plus toolkit, all metric. If you're going to do a lot of ordering from American suppliers, it's good to have an SAE set on hand, at least in 3/8, because American stuff does come to you. Rivco products, here's a hint. Canadian bike, French design, French motor, all that, but Rivco makes it in their shop, and by God, they do everything in SAE because they're American. Gotcha. They make a good product, but wish they'd retool to metric, because even Harley's retooling to metric now, and it's getting to be a pain in the ass. There are 3 quintessential things that you need besides a good metric toolkit, and a good set of jack stands, and a good set of wheel elevation items like some ramps. What you definitely need are a good voltmeter. You want one, preferably electronic. I have both, but you want the electronic. You can save some money with an analog, and they do the job. But when you're testing your charger or your charging system, you want to be as exact as you can. And these come with a number of features that can help you as well. You know, the modern, and mine isn't very modern, but the modern voltmeters do amazing things. Obviously, and this one may seem obvious, but those of you that have bought them new, it should have came with, or there may be media. I don't know how new vehicles come. I had to print this. I went to spyderlovers.com. That is the world's largest spider-orientated forum available on the internet, not their Facebook page. Go to the forum itself. It has what you call a knowledge base attached to it. You go to your section of Spider Lovers and you have a search window available to you, and if you search Operator's Manual in the F3 section, somebody will have a copy. Print it, download a copy, take it to your local Kinko, whatever you need to do, and print it. And I even put mine in a binder because it helps me follow it page to page. I paid for the double-sided printing for the 150-page manual. Here's why. Everything that you need to know about accomplishing the oil change, even in my lame attempt to remove skins and the other videos, is accomplished here. You start at about page 85 in our variant, but it starts with removing the skins, which ones to remove, how to remove them, the tools that you'll need, the items that you'll need to accomplish that. And it will walk you all the way through walking down, because you have to remove, and literally you start from the back to the front. You remove the back flap, then you want to remove this. Go ahead and eat it and take the blinkers off. Trust me, this is once a year. And it's no big deal, but you learn from it, so learn how to remove your blinker and do it. I've already done it. I'm not going to take you through it, show me and watch me dance in my shop floor video today. But you want to remove the side panel. Then you want to remove this side panel to get to your oil change items. Now, all of it is very self-apparent where the screws are located, and there's only one screw really holding this thing on once you have it loose like this. So it comes right off. Your cowl is not one of the covers. Leave it. You can remove it if you want. I remove it because I like to clean my oil cooler out, make sure the bugs are taken care of, make sure everything's cleaned up and dirty. And I also committed a huge spillage. I made a mistake in the oil change. So I had to remove this and put it back in, but I don't recommend it because it uses 3 different bolt sizes in 4 different locations that are very difficult to get to, and this is where doing maintenance on a Can-Am can distract people. So you pull the bottom back, the side, what they call the mid side, and then there are 2 panels underneath that are held on by 2 bolts each. And you'll see when you slide under and see them, one slides forward, one slides back. Your engine drop for your oil is underneath the one. Your oil drop for your tank is here. Now back to my mistake. What did I do last time? Well, I dropped the tank. And then I went into the filter and I was pushing the panels down and I was wrenching this off to the front and out of the way and causing a lot of damage to it and all that. trying to save time. And I pulled my filters, oil went everywhere, my HCM filter leaked all over everything, my oil filter, which is located literally, watch my hand, I still haven't touched it. I still haven't touched it. Now I can touch it. I'm touching the top of the oil filter. So you know what, as arrogant as you want to be, like I was, pull the panels. Mind your manual. It's going to save you all sorts of headaches if you listen to it and read it word for word. It's not as cryptic as some of the Korean ones that I've read and other makes of manuals, but this is a lifesaver. And it also discusses other important aspects like in my next video. But anyway, I'm going to finish up on this because I'm close to 5 minutes or probably over. Follow it. I'm using 1050 oil in mine. I use Baja Ron Kit for the RSS 2012, the extended filter. I talked a little bit about that in my other work. And because I didn't start the vehicle though, I had originally went with AMSOIL 1050. But I didn't start the vehicle and I noticed my mistake. I kept looking at it, I was like, I should be holding more than 3 quarts. So, before I started it, I dropped the oil. So I went ahead and pulled the filters again and I did a complete oil change and I started back at my back, remove that, and I even did the other side. Because you know what? Follow the book. Why? This is your annual service. This is where you get to check your tension on your belt. Look how buried it can be. This is where you get to check all your connections underneath the backside and make sure your back tunnel's nice and clean. It should remain clean. This is where you can take the time to put in the receiver there for your, they call them a trunk on the RSS, if you want to take on that extra project, because it involves you putting in a release for it as well. So you'll need both sides to get your hands under. This will also let you take the time that you need to conduct a decent brake inspection. Go ahead, pull both bags. Go ahead, pull both sides of your skins. Take it down. I've already done it. It was cold, and like I said, I don't have the patience to put you through what for me was a lot of pain because I have arthritis, and laying on a shop floor in 20-degree weather was not pleasant. I'm under a time crunch, so I had to get it done. Also, you know, again, back to the servicing side of things, when you have the access that you need from both sides, you can accomplish everything you need without saving time. It takes you approximately 2 hours to skin the bike. Spend it. It takes you approximately another hour or two to get the bottom panels off, what I call the bottom panels, and that includes this one, to get it out of the way. When I say skin the bike, I mean the pretty stuff. Go forward and skin it too. Take a look at your charging system. You want to go ahead and make sure that you can even get a low pressure cleaning system in here and clean your engine out. Part of the problem that the Can-Am has is cooling. And one of the best ways that you can combat cooling issues is to make sure that your engine container or compartment, the motor itself, are free of debris and oil and waste, and make sure that it breathes well. Spyder Pops has the air management kits that moves air away from your feet and out to the side of the vehicle. I recommend getting those. Spyder Pops also sells a belt management kit that I'm getting for this side. It's not in place yet, but I do have it in place, and that will stop what happened to me out in the field this year. I was on a dirt road, ate a rock in my belt, doink, 17 miles out. I had to walk 7 miles to get a ride. Not fun. I'm going to wait on I talked earlier about doing a wrap on my exhaust. I'll do that later in the spring. It's cold out, it's December, I don't want to do it. Back to the maintenance side. Go ahead and skin it. And once you pop this skin with 2 screws and 2 pop rivets and the whole front of the trike is open, you get from front to back access to every item that you need. You can run your custom wiring. You can take the time that you need, put in your alternative fuse boxes if you're going to run LEDs, and do all the things that I'm going to be doing this winter. But once you skin it and leave it and realize that you're not going, and just do it when it's nice out. If you know you're parking it for the fall, pull the skins. You know you're going to be changing the oil, so get it done. Get it out of the way. And then you get your project stuff done and all that. If you do pull it, you can still ride it a couple miles. It'll run with the skins off it, but I'm telling you, it simplifies your life. And as you customize things, keep track of things and all that. Last of the oil change stuff, I did some stuff where I made sure and replaced, I have an AIS filter on my system because I have this custom intake and I had to make sure that it was leaking. And lo and behold, because I actually did it, and followed a hunch and tightened everything down properly after reading the directions, it took away my backfire. I literally used to shift from first to second, passing by the liquor store, and I'm telling you, the people that may have been visiting the liquor store already that day, they usually hit the ground. It's bad. With the RLS Punisher exhaust, it sounds like a big gun going off, and people will hit the ground every time I pass that liquor store. While I'm using, it's rude, and honestly, it's hard on the bike. But I found the source of the backfire, and all I did was tighten my AIS filter. You can't see it here, but mine are separate. Your AIS is filtered if you have a stock intake in through that system. I have to have a separate one because I have JT's Spyder Shop's intake for the RSS and RT up to 2012. I think they make them for. I do recommend this product. This really changed the nature of this bike and let it breathe. Other than that, I'm going to talk a little bit about belt alignment next, and we'll go from there, but mostly that might be mostly a voice recording. And the winter services are basically over, but and I'll finish reskinning it, but I've been checking, I checked my tire depth. I'm running automobile tires. I put on 8,000 miles this year. I had just over 5,000 miles. I now have 13,333.3 miles. I did not do that on purpose. This thing's just weird. Anyway, so I managed to get well over 7,500 miles on one set of tires. They need nothing. I've got the fronts are basically, they lost their nipples on the tread, but they're like brand new. They look like a brand new tire. The back, I've lost maybe 1/8 of an inch. I still got a full 1/4 inch of tread. Still lots of rain rideable wear on my tire. I'll get probably 20,000 miles out of that rear, and I'm very excited about that. Because if you're on a Can-Am, just sit down and think about this. Do you really need a bike tire? Really, really? They're going to beat you up about this. They're going to threaten you with a warranty. I get it. Yep, I do. And if you're on warranty, you got to play by the rules. But by the time you hit that whatever mileage limit is or year limit is, your next stop should be, and I got these done at Big O Tire. I won't tell you where, but they did it for me. They asked me not to mention the location because they don't want a bunch of spiders showing up. So, and I don't blame them. Spiders are hard to work on. I had to help them take the rear tire off, but they did the tire change for me. And that's all I got for you on the basic services. I'm going to do another short clip on belt alignment. Just did my tension check today and belt alignment check today. I did that in photograph form, and I'm just going to do a voiceover after I construct the video. But I'll do a brief intro to it as well, and we'll go from there. Thanks for joining me here. And again, I'm sorry for any confusion on the oil change. And listen, you got to get it, whatever your version is, get it and print it in paper form, because don't sit there and look at your cell phone, because you're going to be screaming and breaking your remote devices and all this. The nice thing about the printed form is I can slide it right under the bike where I'm working. I can get oil on it, and it doesn't matter. And I really have to sell books these days now. That you have no idea how ironic I